saying at the beginning?
Uh, you mean here it's Ginger? It's called Ginger.
Ah, yeah, the Ginger. Ginger is the closest place.
The hotel, the closest hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, Ginger is the closest hotel, but nearby we have a lot of other hotels. There's one Kavita staying in, which is like 1 or 2 kilometers away from here, 1 kilometer away from Ginger. So something like that. But Ginger is the closest.
Yeah, yeah, the closest. I mean, I want to be at the closest place.
Yeah, I
But
think
there is not even anything closer than that. Like inside the campus, there is no
there are
place
there are two options. One is the guest house, the other one is the clubhouse. So they are
inside.
available inside Technopark. They are available.
The guest house and the clubhouse. What is that?
Clubhouse. Yeah, clubhouse.
What are those?
Those are two different places where you can stay. But yeah, that should work out. Yogi was staying in clubhouse initially when he came before we all shifted to our place. Yogi was staying in the clubhouse, and Technopark probably can arrange you a guest house also.
What is the difference between a clubhouse and a guest house?
They are at just two different locations. Other than that, there must be no other difference. Hey Yogi, you stayed at the clubhouse, right? Clubhouse. Clubhouse. Yeah. Do you need anything for that?
Varun has to go. Yeah, let's email the
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So clubhouse, you can go to either clubhouse or guest house. So somebody from Technopark can arrange that. Yeah, Varun or Vinod.
Which one is the closest?
Clubhouse is the closest.
Where is it? Where the food court?
No.
right. It's the entrance.
Yeah, at the
Right,
entrance.
it's the main gate.
From the main gate, it's just very close to the main gate.
At the main entrance.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna ask Binod if he needs a picture. He had a picture before for making the card.
Okay.
Because I will arrive there early in the morning. So I think there is a flight at 6 that arrives at 8 something. So I can be there 9 something.
Yeah.
We can start this day early.
Yeah.
And then I might be returning to Kerala in summer.
Okay.
But this is to confirm. But this will be a very short trip, like to put everyone on track with the assignments and the final project.
Okay.
Have you heard of? Oh, a second. Have you heard of Murphy's Law?
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Murphy's Law is second law of thermodynamics but applied to everything in physics. So there is one that applies for that table. Whatever is the size of the table, you are gonna end up occupying all the table. And
Now we usually clean it up before the class.
no, it's not a matter of cleaning. It's
Yeah, it just accumulates over time, over the week. So,
This is actually very clean today. Normally it's much worse.
So you are team 2, or you are team 1?
I'm from team 2. Yogi is from team 1.
So Yogi, you are presenting today?
I could, but you mentioned that we need some video. What video? We've got a video of the machine in action. Is that what you're referring to?
You can either have a video of the machine in action or show it live. Like the video will be needed for
Yeah. So we have a video.
evaluation.
I posted it on the Trivandrum stream just after the photograph. There's an MP4. It's a 2.6 MB MP4. You can see it.
In the archive?
Yeah, right there, right below the photograph. There's a MP4 link. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you take a look at it? See if it's okay. It's just about 40 seconds.
Can you ask me what me is going to only review the people who
Team 2. Oh no, sorry, team 1. It's in the page or in the
It's very faint. The I'll probably take another one with the felt pen attached.
Your pencil is not moving.
No,
Is it?
It is moving. It is moving. You'll see it draws a square at the end. I can't see the video. Are you watching it on the screen? I can't see the. It's not shared. I think the screen. No, but
No, I'm not sharing. Sorry.
that video is there.
So You are meaning in that page?
Yeah, so you can see. Yeah, correct, exactly.
This video?
Yeah, that's video. It's going right. The one on the left. No, the one you're seeing on the right is the just we are testing out the code that it works okay. The video on the left in river is the one which is the one actually drawing the fully assembled machine.
No, this is my thing.
You're executing G code?
Okay. No. Okay, so Francisco, if you go into river, just open river.
Open what? Sorry.
River in Trivandrum channel. I've posted the MP4, the final MP4, which you can view. Just open the river Trivandrum.
In Trivandrum.
Just right below the photograph. Yeah, there's a small link to MP4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we change it to a marker.
Yeah. Why don't you put this video?
Yeah, I'll put it. We just recorded yesterday, so we'll put this in the page. We'll update this. And you can see faintly that it's drawn a square. So this is done through G code. Yes, we got a G code, and I'm driving it through a serial port.
Okay, that is good that you have this working like this. Yeah, you can present this machine now.
Okay.
Be ready to answer some questions like how you divided the work,
Yeah.
and also in your pages. We'll talk for this when we join all together. But how are your feelings or about working in a group?
Okay. Sure.
I mean, working in a group has advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
So you should state them in
Sure.
your page. Like, how are
Sure.
your feelings? Was it, do you feel it quicker or slower because you need to coordinate a lot of people? So these are things that you also have to take conclusions.
Sure. So for the presentation itself, do we have to? Is there a sign-up sheet that we put our name that we are going to present, or do we just speak up? Because that becomes very
No.
noisy.
There is a page. You have to sign yourself in the page. Let me check the mail. You didn't receive this mail
What's it? You got the mail? I don't think so.
from Neil?
From Neil? Okay, let me see.
He sent it to only. It's only to instruct. He only sent it to instruct. Neil is, oh, come on. Let me see. Here. I'm gonna put it in general channel. So if we go to this page, Today is April 13. These labs are presenting. You should be down here. And I would do something as well. I would add a link to the machine page.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah, we'll do that.
So you put here your lab and you add here insert link.
Sure. Yeah. I'll do that. Go on. So is there a presentation structure? Like, do we just first talk, like show a video, or is there a structure that he's prescribed, or just kind of keep it short and to 5 minutes? Any guideline on that?
No, it's not a structure. It's gonna be you link here to you put Trivandrum Team 1 machine, and then Neil is gonna click the link. It will go to the page, and someone of the team has to speak up.
Yeah.
And I think they have 1 hour weekly topic, half an hour for machines. So if you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in that case 6, you have half an hour. It's like 5 minutes or less for explaining the machine. So you have to make a pitch for maximum 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. So one of the things that we were kind of debugging was the stepper motor is not it's right now at micro stepping, but it's not. It's moving very slowly. So we kind of removed the micro stepping and remove the jumpers to kind of make it just step, and it's still moving very slowly. So that's something we're going to debug today. But besides that, I think it's running pretty okay. Yeah.
But what happens if you increase the speed?
So the feed rate is as high as it can be. It doesn't change that. It goes slower, but it does not go faster. There's a hard limit above which it does not go.
You mean the driver? This is the maximum speed he can achieve.
It seems to be that way. I'm not sure what's the bottleneck, but it's going very slow. Like if you saw the movements, they were quite slow, right? Is that as expected, or that's too slow in the video?
No. I mean, this could move much more quicker.
Faster, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'll debug that today. I'll see if I can make progress on that also.
Yeah, I mean, if you change from micro stepping to normal stepping, I mean, if it's 1/8 of micro stepping, it should move 8 times quicker.
Yeah, for some reason it's not taking effect, even though I did that. So I need to figure out why. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, first figure out what is the micro stepping you are using. Meaning, in a normal stepping, this motor normal stepping, this motor turns 1 revolution every
200 steps. Yeah.
So you tell the machine to move 200 steps, and you put a tape here to see if it's making 1 revolution or 1/4, or so you manage to see what is the micro stepping you are.
So I actually measured that, and it is actually it was doing 200 revolutions per turn and 1/16th micro stepping, and it was doing a 90-degree angle correctly with 800 steps. But despite that, I think the speed at which it's moving is very slow. So I need to figure it out. I'll figure it out.
1/4, so 1 full revolution was 800?
No, 1/4 was 800. So 90-degree turn, I mimicked a 90-degree turn. So that was 800 steps.
90-degree turn, 100 steps.
800 steps, 800.
800 steps, only 90 degrees.
Yes.
So you are doing
2400.
full revolution is
2400.
32. Full revolution will be 32, right? Because
32, yeah.
so one.
3200.
Yeah.
So you are a lot of micro stepping here.
Yeah.
This is 116 or
116th, correct.
116. So can you change the micro stepping so it turns 200 in one revolution?
Yeah, so I did that. I removed the 116th and I changed that to be single, one step only, one step per turn, and it's not taking effect for some reason. We tried that
It's not
yesterday. Yeah, it's not taking effect. Shibu and me tried that yesterday,
Yes.
but it's not taking effect. So there are those jumpers to be removed. I think there are 3 jumpers, and there's different order. So if they all are set, it's 116th. If none are set, it's normal one step. Normal. That's not
Okay. Just one warning for this.
Okay.
There is a danger that you are going to fry this board.
Okay. Why is that?
Because you should never, ever remove one of these jumpers while there is power applied here to the board.
Okay.
But because this is very, how do you say that? The way this is put here, it's very easy for one of these cables to be out. And that will make the driver explode.
Okay.
So please make sure that you secure this in a way that there is no way to accidentally remove this plug or these pins here.
Sure. Okay. We'll do that. Yeah.
It is your own design, this acrylic states?
Yeah. So Sibu, Jasil, and Rashid did that completely in acrylic. Yeah, their own design. Done in open scan.
These shafts are obtained from what?
So they went to a scrapyard and bought scrap inkjet printers, and they used the guide rails from there.
Okay, make sure you state that.
Yep, yep.
The only thing you could, I think it's direct. You don't need any bushing here, isn't it? It's soft enough for this.
Yeah, I think that is working fine. We had some issues with the main lead screw being a bit bent a little bit, but besides that, the others are moving okay. Other parts are moving okay.
Okay. And this, how do you? What is the part here?
There's just a nut there and a base plate.
It's just a nut.
Yeah.
How is the backslash?
Backslash in the sense of?
Backlash.
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 What is backlash?
Backlash
Yeah.
is I mean it's like when you have this
When you move back and forth, it doesn't measure the same. It doesn't move the same distance when you move back and forth. There is a certain yeah, not loss of distance, loss of distance. Yeah, you go there and
yeah.
it doesn't stop at the same starting point.
Yeah, it's because of this. When you move this way or this way, it's not touching at the same time here and here. So when it moves from one side to the other, you are losing something.
Right. So it's actually surprisingly low. It's actually, so the square that you saw being drawn actually ended up at the origin. If you see, the last point is at the origin. So it's actually done a reasonably good job there. Most of the problems we were having is mostly with the way we are attaching the pen to the arm, and that's a bit loose. And whenever that moves around, it kind of messes up the drawing. But otherwise, it's actually holding okay. The tolerances seem okay so far.
Yeah, but with that you cannot measure backlash,
Oh,
because
okay.
this distance is small.
Okay.
Okay, so this is in the teeth of the nut of the rod. How do you call this in English?
Yeah, the nut, right?
The nut. This is the teeth of the nut. This distance, if you tell the machine, if you want to measure backlash, you tell the machine to move this distance, like say you want to do this square, but in the middle of here, you tell the machine to move in one of the sides to move 100 times this distance, go one back, go one back, go one back, go one back. This distance only.
Okay.
And then you continue to do the square. And then this will not end up here.
Okay.
Will end up here.
Okay.
Meaning here. Because when you do this 100 times, this is not moving actually. Only this is moving. But the other thing is not moving.
Got it. So okay, so you're saying the tolerances between the nut and the screw have to be perfect so that it rests on both sides, and maybe it's not. So okay, we'll test that and see.
Sorry, I explained it wrong. This is the rod. So this is moving, but this will not be moving.
Right, correct.
And you want to move this very tiny distance. Or this only has only 4 changes in direction. So you only have the backlash that you can measure here is only 4 times this distance. In both axes, X and Y. So it's only 2 times this. For you, it's very close. But when you have something that changes a lot in direction,
Got it.
then you will appreciate the backlash is not ending in the template.
Okay, that's a good test. I'll try it out for instance.
It must be something that changes a lot in direction. So you can actually see that this problem. That's why they have this. You are using this normal rod here, but there are these more expensive square rods that they also come with something that is pretty tight, and also for the mechanism it has a spring, so you are always in contact of it's pressing here all the time, so you always have contact to one of the sides, even if you change direction.
Got it. That's good to know. Yeah.
But this is the expensive solution. The good solution would be having here some kind of encoder that we will see in input devices, like an encoder, that even this is not moving perfectly, you are at the same time reading where is your actual position. So it doesn't matter where you are. You force the machine to move until you reach, if you want to reach this point, until you reach this point. Even if the good thing of digital fabrication is that it can correct errors. Remember, this is the goal of digital.
So are you saying using some kind of a sensor to see where the position of the nut or the screw is and then adjusting accordingly? Like
Yes.
a closed feedback loop.
Yes, that you can have a very bad machine, like very imprecise machine, acting as precise as this one by using this kind of input devices.
Okay, what is that called? That input device?
This is an encoder.
Encoder. You know what that is? Okay. You worked with it before?
There are, you will see later this afternoon, they are, or evening for you, they are linear and rotary.
Okay, I'll explore that some more and see what that can.
So this is a mechanical encoder or encoding IC.
Is this a mechanical encoder or a, what is it? Jasil is asking.
This is this one that I'm drawing here is an optical encoder.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you can, with the parts you have in the inventory, you can print this in a normal inkjet printer or laser printer, not laser cutter, a normal laser printer, black and white pattern, and then use the electronic components you have in the inventory to read what is white and what is black.
Okay.
You can also do this with a whole sensor with large resolution, and you can also do this yeah, I mean, if you in your machine
So one thing I understand, so you're saying that you take the printout of the black and white squares or whatever, and then where do you place that? I understand that you can have an optical module which looks for those, but where do I place that strip?
Yeah, imagine you have to adapt your machine to be there. You have to place the sensor in the moving part.
Okay.
And attach like the pattern in one of the fixed parts.
I see. Okay, I got it. So then you can use that reference to know whether you've moved or not and give that feedback into the controller.
Yes.
Okay.
The pattern can be as simple as just black and white lines. These are the expensive things.
This is a good idea. I think we saw an example of this in that shaper tool which Cebu had sent a video of, which had these strips of patterns and
yes, like this is like a linear encoder. The thinnest you can make this. So then with an interrupt, you read every time it changes from white to black. You trigger an interrupt. You remember when you made interrupts?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So you trigger an interrupt, and this, then you add the distance. Yes, you know this distance between white and black and white and black. So you say, I have moved this distance. So this you can take counts of this.
Nice.
There are then more complex patterns like this one that you can actually measure more things. But you need in one of these, in each of these lines, you need a sensor.
Okay.
So it measures if this is white, this is black, this is white, and this is black. Then I am at this position.
Got it. Got it.
But the best thing is to start with this to get the program working with this pattern. And this is for the linear thing. Another thing is measuring. If you can measure the backlash, and there are procedures in the internet to measure backlash.
Okay.
If you can measure this in the XY and II axis, in the X and I axis, if you can measure that, then what happens is when you measure something, it is no longer an error, because you already know what is the error. So a known error is not an error. So you can incorporate every time that you change direction, I know I'm gonna lose 0.1 millimeter. If you know that, you can incorporate this into your G code. So with no encoder, you can have precise positioning because you know what is your backslash.
Sure.
In both axes. You know how distance you are losing when you change from direction here.
Got it. Got it.
And there is another in your design here. Also, if you stop this by hand, the problem with this pattern is that you don't know if you are moving in one direction or the other direction.
Right.
Because it's only a change from white to black. But if you stop here and you change direction, you don't know. And there is another problem. The other problem is that if something is stopping this pencil, I don't know, it finds an obstacle or something that cannot move. You can stop the motor by hand, and the motor will keep spinning the internal part, but the rod is not moving because you are missing steps.
Right.
Because there is no mechanical, it's only magnetic force that you are moving. So you can stop actually the rod and the motor keeps spinning if you have enough force in your hand.
Yep.
So when this happens, also this encoder is not going to detect that. This encoder here is not going to detect the missing steps. So that's why you incorporate later
More complex design.
more complex patterns. But for a starting point, if you can program this for input devices, here it's like the 4 sensors you can see for different patterns. So you can measure these 4 bits. But if you can, and this is the result you obtain. 1 0 1 0. So at every change here, you are in the edge. You can measure one of the falling edge and the rising edge of the input.
Right.
But this is for next week. These are things that you can incorporate later for machines or for whatever you want. And this is very important.
Okay.
But there are many input devices. So this is going to be a very, if you take profit of this week, it's going to be a very long week with a lot of work. Okay.
Thanks.
And also this thing that you printed here,
Yeah.
this is the problem. This is your stepper motor,
Yeah.
and this is the rod.
Yeah.
And for that, you printed this coupler
Yeah.
Right.
that it's attaching these two. But the problem is it in reality, I'm going to make it very exaggerated. In reality, this is very exaggerated. In reality, when you couple, it's going to be like this. So you will realize that this end of the rod is not moving, just turning. It's moving like in a circular end of this. Have you noticed that?
Maybe very little, but it's been not that noticeable.
Yeah, this is very exaggerated. But this, in whatever is never moving like just twisting. It's moving like this.
Right.
Because this is never parallel. This axis is never parallel to this axis. Whatever you do is going to be never parallel. Its probability is 0 that you make it parallel. 0, absolute 0.
Sure.
So there are other designs of these couplers that they have like something like a spring here. I don't know if you can find 3D printed designs of this, but they have like a spring. They had cuts here. And those cuts is because when you do this, this spring, I'm gonna see how I draw this. This spring will move like this. Yeah. Sorry. This is your stepper motor. This spring will move in a way that makes this parallel. The spring is gonna convert this into this. You know, this spring is gonna move. It's gonna bend. So this becomes parallel again.
I haven't seen this, but I'll take a look and see if that is an option.
I don't know if there are Thingiverse spring coupler. Yeah, is this one? Have you ever seen? I mean, all the machines have these cuts here.
Okay.
This is for the parallel thing, for things to become parallel to the axis.
Yeah, I was not aware of that. That's interesting.
But I don't know if in Thingiverse you're gonna find. No, it's very difficult to. to print this, but it could be a nice. Oh, just look here. Someone try it.
Yeah.
Because you have to print this in one piece, not in two, like the one you have printed.
Correct.
But if you manage to do the design for this, I mean, now it is going to be useless with PLA. But doesn't matter, because if you can manage to design this, when there are going to be 3D printers, metal 3D printers, and there are going to be very soon, then you will be able to design any kind of mechanical part.
Yeah, yeah.
If you have the ability to design.
Sure.
That's why designing is very important.
So I had a separate question about the group activity for this week. So in this week, it's okay for people to divide themselves and kind of focus on specific areas, right? Like, or for example, Shibu did the mechanical part, and I did the automation, and others also helped out with different areas. But not. So we didn't do for example, I didn't get a chance to really work on the mechanical part, and Shibu's not worked. So that's okay, right, for this week?
Yeah, that's okay.
Cool.
That's okay. That is not okay if you are doing a group final project.
Okay, right. That's sure. That makes sense.
But for the mechanical assignment, the group project, it is okay to divide the work. But be ready to tell who did what.
Yeah.
And then it's anti. This is the thing I was telling you, that it has a spring to make sure that there's always contact.
Okay.
Some people also, they are designing anti-backlash nuts. Yeah, it's something like this. Yeah. You can improve the machine like doing things like this. You add a spring, you see?
Yeah.
So there is always contact in one of the sides. So even if you move from one direction, it doesn't go to the other part of the nut.
Right.
It doesn't go to the other part. It just stays there because there is a spring forcing it. All of these are things that you will be improving when you are doing machines. You want them to be more and more precise, you have to add things like this.
Yeah, no, this is very cool.
Backlash for every axis, then encoders. This is the spring coupler. All of this increase the precision of the machine. So this was. So. So in the end, we waited till 10:30 for Kochi, and Kochi didn't appear.
Yeah, the scene there.
Okay. Well, let me check before. Then, so you are presenting now. Yogi, make sure that you put yourself here after Shanghai. Remember.
Put yourself where? Sorry. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. Got it. Yeah. I'll put a link and everything. I'll add some documentation also into the. Yeah.
And also add the link.
Yeah.
And then who's going to speak up?
I'll be speaking.
Okay. So prepare the pitch like so this is a continuous pitch. So he's gonna be from your machine. He's gonna be scrolling down, and you have to tell the story as he goes down. So you have to arrange this pitch and the pitch so he can scroll down, and you during these 5 minutes you tell the story. Okay?
Sure. Okay.
And then if you have the video, you can put the final video at the end to show the machine moving.
I thought I'll just put a summary, about 10 lines at the top, which kind of gives the highlights along with the video, and then the details will be below, so that he can just get a quick overview of it.
Yeah, but he will be interested in the whole story. Like, not only about the machine itself, but also the group. How do you divide the work? What the problems you encounter working in groups? All of this, all your experience. Not only look at the machine.
Okay.
Okay. And team 2. Okay. Okay, yesterday, you remember yesterday there was a problem with the archive. Did you experience that problem?
No, we don't have it today.
Okay, the archive is fixed now, but the server in the archive ran out of hard disk. Yasil, do you have a clue? Why is this happening?
What?
The hard disk on the server, the Git
Just
server,
No. Not a hard disk.
in the server went out because of why did it happen?
Yeah.
There are messages that here.
Yeah, Yasil, this is because the server is storing all the history. So if you push 175 megabytes, it's there forever. It's gonna be there forever. It's very difficult to remove this from the history because actually it was made for keeping the history, for not deleting the history. So be very careful when you push, before you push, so you check the size of your folder.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let me, and for this I'm leaving now. Let me check only in the archive. Students sizes, students file sizes. So Digiscope leading with 328 megabytes. No one good that no one is leading the top 10. In Trivandrum, Kochi, or is Kavita with 81 in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's almost in the 20 position with Kavita leading. And then Yogesh. But it's good. It's good. I'm gonna try to make an histogram of this, so we find where is the mean, and you will find out what is the, you know, the statistics? I'm gonna draw all of this. The shape will be here. Like this is the people with 0 bytes. Maybe this is gonna be like 25 megabytes. It's like 80 megabytes, 300 megabytes. So, and the height is the number of people. This is an histogram. And if you plot this, what is this? Yeah. If you plot all of these numbers in a histogram, you will see what is the it's gonna be a shape like this. A normal distribution, they call it. I'll make it and I'll show you later. I think I can pull these numbers from the yeah, I think I can pull these numbers from the JSON. Okay. So well, guys, see you later this afternoon, evening, and get ready for a very, 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 very hard week. Okay, this week is going to be very long. Inputs devices. If you feel like a relaxed week, you are doing something wrong, because this is not a relaxed week. Okay? You feel like free time, you are doing wrong. There's no free time this week. Okay? Well, I see you later. Enjoy the Inputs devices class. Get ready for the machine presentation.
Yeah.
Yogi. See you later, guys. Bye.